Hey there, friend. Have you ever looked up at the night sky and wondered about those mysterious lights zipping across the horizon? Are they from another planet, or could they be visitors from another dimension? Today, we're going to dive into a fascinating theory that proposes a different perspective on unidentified flying objects, UFOs, the Interdimensional Hypothesis. This hypothesis suggests that UFO sightings might not be extraterrestrial in nature, but rather could be entities from other dimensions that coexist with ours. It's a mind-bending concept that challenges our understanding of reality and opens up new possibilities for exploration. So, buckle up as we embark on this exciting journey to unravel the mysteries of the universe. But before we get into it, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And if you want to get notified every time I upload a new video, click the bell icon as well. It really helps me out and I appreciate it a lot. The interdimensional hypothesis is a pretty cool concept. It's like something straight out of a sci-fi movie, but some people believe it could be a real possibility. This hypothesis suggests that the UFOs we see are not from outer space, but rather from other dimensions that exist right alongside our own. Imagine that. It's like having invisible neighbors living in the same space as us, but in a different dimension. Now, you might be wondering, what exactly is a dimension? In simple terms, dimensions are different levels of reality. We live in a three-dimensional world, right? We have length, width, and height. But according to this hypothesis, there could be other dimensions beyond our perception. These dimensions could have their own laws of physics and their own forms of life. So, when we see a UFO, the interdimensional hypothesis suggests that we're not seeing an alien spaceship from another planet. Instead, we might be getting a glimpse of an entity from another dimension. It's like they've found a way to cross over into our reality. Isn't that wild? But remember, this is just a hypothesis. It's one of many ideas that people have come up with to explain UFO sightings. And while it's an intriguing concept, it's important to approach it with an open mind and a healthy dose of skepticism. After all, extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. Now let's talk about where this hypothesis came from and who are the key figures behind it. The interdimensional hypothesis was first proposed by ufologists, which are people who study UFOs. Some of the key figures include Meade Lane, John Keel, J. Allen Hynek, and Jacques Vallée. Meade Lane was an American author and occultist who first proposed the idea that UFOs could be interdimensional rather than extraterrestrial. John Keel was a journalist and ufologist who wrote extensively about UFOs and paranormal phenomena. He believed that UFOs were not physical spacecraft, but were manifestations of a phenomenon that transcends our current understanding of reality. J. Allen Hynek was an astronomer, professor, and ufologist. He initially started as a skeptic, working as a scientific advisor for the U.S. Air Force on their UFO investigations. However, over time, he became convinced that some UFO sightings could not be easily dismissed and suggested that an interdimensional explanation might be plausible. Jacques Vallée is a computer scientist, venture capitalist, author, ufologist, and former astronomer. He proposed that UFOs are not just physical craft from other planets but could be part of a broader category of phenomena that includes religious miracles, visions, and encounters with mythical creatures. These individuals have contributed significantly to the development and popularization of the interdimensional hypothesis. Their work has sparked debate and discussion in the field of ufology and beyond. So, we've talked about the interdimensional hypothesis, but it's not the only game in town. There are other theories out there that try to explain UFO sightings. Let's take a look at how they stack up against our interdimensional theory. First up, we have the extraterrestrial hypothesis. This is probably the most well-known theory. It suggests that UFOs are spacecraft from other planets. The idea is that intelligent life exists elsewhere in the universe and they're visiting us in their high-tech spaceships. It's a cool idea, but it doesn't explain why we haven't found any concrete evidence of extraterrestrial life yet. Next, we have the psychosocial hypothesis. This theory suggests that UFO sightings are best explained as psychological or social phenomena. In other words, when people see UFOs, they're not actually seeing physical objects. Instead, they're experiencing hallucinations or misinterpretations of natural phenomena, influenced by their cultural and social expectations. The interdimensional hypothesis offers a different perspective. It suggests that UFOs could be entities from other dimensions that coexist with ours. This theory doesn't require the existence of extraterrestrial life or rely on psychological explanations. Instead, it opens up the possibility of other realities beyond our current understanding. Each of these theories has its strengths and weaknesses, and none of them can definitively explain all UFO sightings. But that's what makes this topic so fascinating. There's still so much we don't know, and every new sighting brings us one step closer to unraveling the mystery. When it comes to evidence, most of it is anecdotal, based on reports of UFO sightings and encounters with strange beings. Some proponents of the hypothesis also point to historical and mythological accounts of supernatural creatures as evidence of past interdimensional encounters. They argue that these accounts could be interpreted as interactions with entities from other dimensions. However, critics argue that anecdotal evidence is not sufficient to support such a significant claim. They point out that personal experiences and eyewitness accounts are often unreliable and can be influenced by a variety of factors, including misinterpretation, memory errors, and even hoaxes. Another criticism is that the interdimensional hypothesis is not falsifiable. In other words, there's no way to prove it wrong. This is a key principle in science. For a theory to be considered scientific, there must be a way to test it and potentially prove it false. Because we currently have no way of testing for other dimensions, some critics argue that the interdimensional hypothesis is more of a philosophical idea than a scientific theory. Despite these criticisms, the interdimensional hypothesis continues to be a topic of interest in the field of ufology. It challenges our understanding of reality and encourages us to think outside the box, and who knows? As our scientific knowledge advances, we may one day find a way to test this hypothesis and uncover the truth about UFOs. You know what's really fun? Seeing how these mind-bending theories like the interdimensional hypothesis influence our popular culture. Movies, books, TV shows, you name it. The idea of other dimensions has been a goldmine for storytellers. Take, for example, the hit Netflix series Stranger Things. The show features a parallel dimension called the Upside Down. It's a dark and twisted mirror of our own world, inhabited by strange creatures. Sounds familiar? That's because it's a classic example of the interdimensional hypothesis at play. Or consider the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The concept of multiple dimensions is a key part of their storyline. Characters like Doctor Strange regularly travel between different dimensions, encountering all sorts of bizarre entities along the way. Even video games have gotten in on the action. Games like Control and Half-Life feature interdimensional travel as a core part of their gameplay. But it's not just about entertainment. These stories help to bring complex ideas like the interdimensional hypothesis to a wider audience. They spark curiosity and inspire us to ask questions about the nature of our reality. So next time you're watching a sci-fi movie or playing a video game, keep an eye out for those interdimensional themes. You might be surprised at how often they pop up. Conclusion: remember, While this hypothesis is intriguing, it's just one of many theories out there. The truth about UFOs remains a mystery, but isn't that what makes it so exciting? The unknown invites curiosity, and curiosity leads to discovery. As we continue to explore and learn, who knows what we might uncover? So keep looking up at the stars and wondering. After all, the universe is full of possibilities. And who knows? Maybe one day, we'll finally unravel the mystery of those elusive UFOs. Until then, keep exploring, keep questioning, and most importantly, keep being awesome. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.